Hey guys, Big D here at Horoscope, where I talk about and recommend my favorite horror movies. Today, I am going to be looking at Messengers to the Scarecrow. This movie came out direct-to-video back in 2009, and it serves as a prequel to the 2007 movie The Messengers, which starred Kristen Stewart. This movie is about a father who moves his family to a farm. Their crops are dying, crows are eating what's left, so against his son's wishes, he decides to put up a scarecrow. After he does that, his luck starts to change. Now, for those of you who have watched horror movies, you know by now that once we see the scarecrow, you know it's going to, come alive. And it does. So let's talk about the good. The acting, for the most part, is pretty decent. The dad, played by Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead, he does a pretty decent job. The wife also does a solid job. The daughter, played by Claire Holt, who I believe would go on to be in the Vampire Diaries TV series and its spin-off, the originals. Pretty much all the cast, except for the son, do a pretty decent job. This movie also uses mostly practical effects, which is really good. The scarecrow is super creepy and unsettling. The cornfields is a really spooky setting where you can get lost. I do like that this movie went and did something different instead of just a rehash of the original. And it at least does some continuity with the original movie. Like, it takes place in the same location. It's also about 94 minutes long, so it's not too lengthy. And we also get a couple of really pretty decent kills. Now let's talk about the bad. Like I said, the son's acting for the most part is pretty bad. I think it improves about the last 10 to 15 minutes of the movie. Norman Reedus, the main character, for most of the movie he only has, I think, one or two facial expressions, so his facial acting is kind of limited. For a lot of the movie, there's not a whole lot going on except the last 10 to 15 minutes. That's where it starts to pick up. And like I said, I do like that it tried to do something different. I just don't think it really executed all those differences well. I think overall, I give it maybe 2.5 skulls out of 5. Like I said, the acting is decent, atmosphere is creepy, the scarecrow looks good despite the budget, and I like that it tried to do something different. Now, real quick before I announce the next movie, I have a couple of announcements to make. First off, in regards to ranking horror franchises with 2 or more sequels, let me know if you would prefer I rank them from worst to best or least to most favorite, because it makes no difference to me which one I do. Also, after this series is over, I will be doing a podcast. What that is, for those of you who aren't quite sure, it's a longer and more in-depth version of what I'm doing now. I'll review movies, maybe do some games, have some guests on there, talk about certain aspects of movies. So those are the couple of announcements I have. Join me next time when we'll be looking at The Midnight Man. Until then, this is a Big D over at Horoscope. Stay safe.